Not sure if many of you know, but we do have a virtual tier within the Design Coven virtual pro member tier, which includes 3 virtual meetings a month where we set intentions. We do group coaching. So bring all your questions. We answer those questions and you get to learn from other people going through the same struggles as you. We also do a business practice meeting. So we'll have somebody on to share a business practice that we can all benefit from. And then we also do a product training. So getting a sustainable, eco-friendly line to come on, share who they are so that we can be supported with other like-minded businesses. And if you're not quite ready for pro, you can always join our free community where you will connect with other like-minded holistic interior designers. You don't have to be an interior designer if you are kind of just dabbling or you're aspiring or you're looking into this field. We invite everybody from all journeys, and you don't, again, have to be a designer. You don't have to have a degree. We're just a beautiful community of like-minded people looking to create healing spaces, not just for ourselves, but for our clients and future clients. Come join us at designcoven.com/join. You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including feng shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Larraine Crawford. Hello, welcome to episode 76. And today I'm talking all about my time management practices. I have the hardest time with time management, so I did have to do something in order to keep myself from procrastinating and from wasting so much time. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. These 2 practices that I have implemented and have found to be huge help with keeping me on track. So we are going to set our space. I'm going to go ahead and light a candle, get us into the moment, and set the intention of connection and saving time, because time is one of those resources that we don't have. We can't buy extra time. We can't get extra time. Everyone has the same amount. So we always want more time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for all of us here as well. Pulling from the Radiant Crystal deck. And we have Sodalite. And Sodalite is guidance, intuition, and emotional balance. This is connected to the third eye chakra. And the affirmation here is, my intuition guides me to balance and awareness. And that's, really what we're talking about today is that balance and harmony in our lives so that we feel healthy and we've got boundaries between work and our real lives. And so this time management piece is really going to keep us in that space. Alrighty. So we've got a solo episode of me kind of just giving you some insight on some practices that I have implemented over the past few months. And, I think I've been trying to do this for such a long time. I've been doing it and it's a constant practice. So I do fall in and out of it. So what we have is I love to theme my days and time blocking. So I'm just going to share with you what I do. I find that by doing things in chunks, I get a lot more done. I don't feel as depleted. I don't feel so stressed out. Before I did any time blocking, it was like I would just book appointments on my calendar, and then I was like zipping around town, like going from North County down to the South and just like all over the place, and then having to run back and like do a drawing or trying to source something. And I just felt so scattered and all over the place and in a space of just feeling panicky and anxiety and just stress. And you just thinking about it like, oh my God, it's so chaotic. So theming your days is going to help, and then time blocking your activities. So Mondays for me is all about business and catching up. It's about doing everything from my office or from home. And so I don't leave. I try not to leave on Mondays at all if I can help it, unless I really, really have to go to a client because of some emergency situation, which there typically isn't an emergency. But so that's me being at home or in the office. And I'm checking in on all my orders, checking in on invoices. I'm getting back to all my emails and phone calls. I'm doing like a Zoom check-in with people if I need to do a check-in if you've got a team. And I'm also doing a bit of creative stuff. So I'll do all that sort of paperwork, real linear things in the morning. And then if I have time in the afternoon, I'll do some drafting. So get some creative stuff going on into that space. So that's Monday. I don't leave. It's all very business oriented. And then we have Tuesday. And Tuesday is the day that I'm so at home. That's like my Zoom day. It's my virtual day. That's the day I record my podcast. That's the day where I'm doing Zoom calls with my client or phone calls with the client that you don't have to be in person for. I do my business coaching on that day, all my consultations. That's the day that I schedule with potential new clients. So when they're scheduling an appointment to speak with me for a discovery call, I'm doing all of that on Tuesday. That's just the day that I take those calls, and I don't do them on other days. And then I'm also doing drafting if I want to get in some creative stuff, and then I'll also work on my business on Tuesday. So whether that's posting, like creating posts for Instagram or social, that kind of thing, that will happen on a Tuesday afternoon if I feel like I still have time to do that. Otherwise, that moves into Wednesday. And Wednesday is my hybrid hump day, creative day. So I will be at home in the office in the morning, checking in on orders again, doing those emails. I'll work on the business as far as marketing stuff on Wednesday morning. And then by the time mid-morning comes along into the afternoon, that's when I'm doing all my sourcing. So I'm doing sourcing online for the most part, doing all of that kind of thing in that space. If I have to run around, I might run around a little bit Wednesday afternoon to do some physical sourcing in showrooms and that kind of thing. And then Thursday, we get into a creative space. So Thursday's all my in-person meetings. So I'll meet with all my clients on Thursdays. Of course, I start the day off with emails, but I'm also sourcing in person on Thursday. That's the day I'm just running around. So really making sure that you're also scheduling things out so that when you are running around, you do all the things that you need to do. That's in the one neighborhood, and then you go to the next neighborhood and that kind of thing. So you're not zipping up and down so much and driving so much. You're kind of doing everything in a saturated space. And then we have Fridays, and of course we start every day with email. That's the other thing too, is really blocking in when you're checking your email so that you're not checking your email and texts and everything all throughout the day. You might have a block in the morning where you're checking email between like 8 and 9, and then you do it in the afternoon for a block, and then at the end of the day, so that you're not all over. Because sometimes when you check email during one of these blocks that you're supposed to be doing something else, that's going to derail you and take you off into a whole other world. So Friday is my Friday, and that's my favorite day of the week. No matter what, I just love Fridays. Of course, I'm checking in. I do a lot of my design coven stuff on Fridays because I love being social on Fridays. Any other in-person stuff that I have to do, so from leftover from Thursday, if somebody couldn't meet with me on Thursday, I'll meet with them on a Friday. Typically try to do that in the morning because I'd like to take like a half day on Friday. I don't like to work too seriously on Fridays. Those are really light days. And then of course, I'm also planning out the rest of the week on that Friday, just so that you're not having to do that over the weekend or coming into Monday in a panic because you're not sure like what that week looks like. So that is kind of my theme of the days of weeks of the week. And in time blocking, it's just a huge asset. If you can get into the practice of it, make it a habit, you will get a lot more things done a lot faster, and you'll have a plan in place. So then you feel like you're getting really productive, and it doesn't really allow for procrastination because you've got things already pre-planned and in your calendar and booked up, which is really, really wonderful. So yeah, I'd love to know if you guys are time blocking. If you're not and you're implementing it, I'd love to know how it's going for you. Please fill me in. And if you also have any tips that you would like to share, I'm all ears. You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge, and leave us a 5-star review that helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events, so everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, Blake Ferris, for all of her special help with the podcast, our social media posts, newsletter, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.